With new restaurants and new chefs arriving on the scene constantly, it's hard to make a powerful impression. But the brothers behind the Blue Ribbon Empire aren't having any trouble garnering top honors. Eric and Bruce Bromberg are changing the way we eat with their unconventional approach to food. These Dukes of Deliciousness are classically trained cordon bleu chefs who now have 8 restaurants, a product line, even a cycling team, and they show no signs of slowing down.
Blue Ribbon north of 23rd Street.
So, 2 nice Jewish boys from New Jersey sort of take the New York culinary world by storm. How did that all transpire?
Maybe we were slightly isolated in our own world growing up. Our dad took us to France and we did all these various kind of trips, and food was a big part of our lives. So we kind of created our own food culture.
So when you say it started in your house, was like your mom a good cook? Was she an adventurous cook?
Adventurous isn't the first word that comes to mind. Good, yes, but adventurous, no. There was a lot of boiled chicken with lemon. Broiled chicken, sometimes with lemon.
Our parents had different approaches to food, and I think because of that, we really saw 2 distinctly different sides of food and how to cook and how to eat, and I think really what we do is a perfect blend of those 2 concepts.
I think the majority of our menu and our inspiration comes from growing up. Really, I mean, you know, cooking at Cordon Bleu and learning all these French techniques play a part in it, but really to us it was that restaurant experience and what was fun.
We're having the time of our life in the kitchen. We're making dishes that make us feel fantastic.
And that's evident in all their menus. Blending ingredients from different cultures is their signature. Just look at their latest venture, Blue Ribbon Sushi Bar and Grill, where a popular dish pairs bone marrow with some Japanese flavors.
So, teriyaki sauce on bone marrow. This is not my grandmother's kitchen.
Yeah, not deeply rooted in Eastern European tradition.
All right.
We're gonna take our teriyaki sauce and we basically just put a nice, generous puddle of teriyaki in the center of the dish.
That's a technical term, cooking term, puddle.
Puddle. And then we're gonna take the bones and lay them on the plate. The challah toast goes around the dish. And then this is fried shiso, which is like a Japanese mint. And then the last ingredient, Ed, if you could just add on, this is dried bonito. And what the bonito does is it adds kind of an interesting smokiness that goes really nicely along with that teriyaki.
So this is it. Bone marrow, fried shiso, teriyaki sauce, challah. Who cares what you call it, right? This is like Blue Ribbon. This is just plain delicious. In a certain way, you have a point of view. It's just not a point of view that's easily pigeonholed.
It's not a traditional point of view, and we found from the first day we opened Blue Ribbon, everyone said, what kind of restaurant? What kind of restaurant? What kind of restaurant? It's an impossible answer. And people have tried to explain that, and eclectic somehow fit in there, and then that became an answer, but what does that mean? Nobody really knows.
Right, and people automatically assume that there's a pejorative connotation to it.
Right, exactly. Right. And we got the question over and over, and finally we said, a good restaurant. That's what we're going to try to make.
And what makes a good restaurant? In the hands of the Brombergs, it's a brasserie that offers everything from poo-poo platters to frog's legs, a bakery with fried chicken, even a wine bar offering up deviled eggs with caviar.
So it seems to me that when I look at your menus, it's about making food that adheres to high culinary standards and is delicious, first and foremost.
We've always been driven to kind of make the foods we enjoy. And you know what? We like a burger just as much as we like foie gras, just as much as we like paella.
You don't worry about whether it fits into a concept or not.
Because there's not so much of a concept that actually exists, that it doesn't have to fit into that concept. Right. And it's really having fun. I mean, we sit there in the kitchen and we say, you know, Eric went to school in New Orleans, so that's all fair game.
All the food from down there is good. You know, we used to go to Chinese food restaurants when we were little kids, so that was really exciting. Poo-poo platters, that was fun. You know, grandma's food growing up and family holidays and fancy French restaurants, that was fun. So yeah, nothing's off limits to us, and that's kind of why perhaps Blue Ribbon is comfortable to so many people. And a lot of other people maybe have tried to be super eclectic and throw everything in, but it doesn't, unless it's really something you've lived and something that's that relevant to yourself, it just doesn't quite come through.
Because it feels much more organic when, it doesn't feel weird when you're in your restaurant, when I'm in your restaurants and I'm eating that, and it says, hey, this is cool, I like matzo ball soup and I like fried chicken. I'll have them together.
But perhaps nothing's more organic than their approach to each new restaurant. Their formula? Find a space and have a little faith.
If you don't go into each place with a concept, a sort of finely honed concept, how do you go about opening other places? Like, does the space determine what you end up cooking?
It's somewhat of a terrifying experience where everybody around us is saying, do you have a menu yet? What's it gonna be? And we're like, well, we're getting there. We'll have that menu prior to opening, promise.
It kind of starts in, we have a space, let's do something, and then once we get the space designed and set up, then we spend time in the space and we sit around and say, what would you like to eat here?
And there's no better example than the Blue Ribbon Bakery. The discovery of a 140-year-old oven became the foundation around which everything was built.
This oven is the heart and soul of what this restaurant is built around. We were talking about earlier how we come up with the menu. We worked here creating this space, digging, excavating, restructuring, chipping out all the mortar between these stones to expose it. And that became the heart and soul for what we built around it as a menu. So everything in this restaurant is consumed, can be consumed with this bread in mind.
So that's why there's an incredible array of sandwiches.
Exactly, there's an array of sandwiches, but there's also an array of many little dishes of roasted peppers, roasted tomatoes, different vinaigrettes, and different combinations of meats, fish, and smoked items that you can combine with just a hunk of bread and create your own taste sensation.
Got it.
Not only are they creating taste sensations in their restaurants, but they are also branching out with product lines like artisanal honeys and nutritious treats for tots.
Now you've started to, in your own Blue Ribbon-ish way, Blue Ribbon-esque way,
Right.
to get into products.
Eric has 3 kids now, and he was kind of presented with that dilemma of feeding his kids. So one of the products we're working on is a non-fried, non-breaded chicken nugget, and it's like a healthy child's food.
They're called naked nuggets.
Naked nuggets, I like it because, you know, it could go,
There's a lot
that
of
could be an
different ways to look at
NC-17 kind of a thing too.
Good for all ages, we promise.
Whether it's healthy food for kids or comfort food for grown-ups, at Blue Ribbon, it all boils down to the vibe.
There really is a uniform feeling at all your places.
And I think really the uniform feeling is our spirit and our idea of what it is we're here for. We try to cook the best food we're capable of in an environment that is comfortable for everyone.